This is on that. If you'll remember just a couple of weeks ago, I could kayak all that. I'm still sticking it out for a little while longer. Let's get that thermal done.
What is Bigfoot? A myth? A legend? A hoax? Or a real flesh and blood creature? What about the reported sightings of Bigfoot? They can't all be misidentified animals. And how is it that most Native American cultures have stories about Bigfoot? After 2 separate sightings of a Bigfoot-type creature, I needed answers. I have now been researching Bigfoot for over 15 years, and I feel that my journey has just begun.
Today I'm out here walking the shoreline, if you can call that now. They have dropped the levels of the lake. If you'll remember just a couple of weeks ago, I could kayak all that, and I did. Wife and I come out here, just walk around, but you couldn't walk the shoreline because there really wasn't a whole lot of shoreline that you could walk because it was right up to the wood line. Now, we've got plenty of shoreline, and that means that I can look for footprints. So that's what I'm out here doing today. Later tonight, I will be going on the other side of this bridge that I park at. I'll be going on the other side of it where there is a very large area that is no longer underwater. I don't know what that was. Really don't know. Anyway. So I'm going to be using the parabolic mic out there tonight, and I'm going to be using the thermal. So I'll show you the area that I'm going to be doing here in a little bit. Oh man, look at that area right out there. That right there looks like a good area to do with a thermal. Might do that. There they go. But I am seeing no footprints other than human out here right now. So that might be it for tonight. I might do this area right here. Right up the creek there is where the mill site is, where I had my first encounter with a Bigfoot type creature. Just around that bend right there. That's where I had my first encounter, so I know I'm in the area. And I have had a report from an acquaintance of mine that he had heard several screams the last couple of nights, which is what prompted me to come out here and do this tonight. To do this today and get ready for tonight. So let's walk back over here to the other side where I'll show you the area that I feel like I'm wanting to run the thermal and point the parabolic microphone. All right, this right here is the other side of the bridge. This is where I want to run the parabolic mic and run the thermal a little bit tonight. If you'll look right there at the center of the screen, I'm gonna try to work this out. Let me get it right here. Yes. Right in there, where that bird just flew over, is where we found the footprints just a couple of weeks, about a month ago. when I took the kayak. When I took the kayak and done my up the creek there, a little piece that I done there, and we found the footprints on the sandbar. That right there was where that was done. Now, right here, I do have some barefoot prints, but the way it looks, I couldn't tell you what it is. Sun's done and dried up some of it. I can see toes and I can see a heel. It's probably a kid. So I don't believe it's a Bigfoot. Can't really tell if there's a mid-tarsal break or anything like that on it. But that's them right there, going through there. It's probably a kid playing in the mud. But this is the area that I want to check out tonight. I may even walk out this way a little piece and see if I can't get around that little bend, that little bend area right there. We got a crane over there. But this is the area that I want to run the thermal on tonight. And I thought I would show that to you in the daylight so that you got a reference on what I'm doing. Because without a little bit of reference that you know about, all that ain't no good. So that's what that right there is. And we'll be coming back later this afternoon, set up everything up under the bridge, and getting set up for a night of Bigfoot research. I can't hardly wait. It's been long enough. I get stir crazy, so it's time to get back out. But there is plenty of room up under this bridge to set up all my equipment and even set up a chair. So that's what I'm going to do. And we'll be back with you after it gets a little bit later on in the afternoon, right before dark probably. But that's the plan for tonight. All right, everybody. I've just gotten back down here. It's almost dark. So that's what my plan was. And now I'm just going to run the parabolic mic and run the thermal for the rest of the night in these little areas that used to be full of water. Now ain't nothing but sandbars. So I'm going to check that out. Let me get my thermal set up and I'll make my first sweep. All right, everybody, this is our first thermal sweep. This is on that land going back toward the bottom of the creek, where I like to go and where I found footprints before. All right, there's a rock. Still hot from today's sun, but I see no hot spots anywhere on that piece of land right there now. Now the black spots right there are what little bit of water's left in this place. Now, just to turn it around. There's the pillars over the bridge. Turn it around that way and look off over there. Nothing back over that way. Right there in the center of the screen, you got a hot spot, but that's a tree. Just like that one right there is a tree in the center. So you got a few hot spots still right now. We'll keep an eye on them spots. But that's our first sweep for tonight. Another pillar, and here comes a car over the bridge. And that right there is our cleared out spot. What used to be water. We'll check back again in a little bit on that. Not really sure what it is these people are looking for, but so far I've had 2 cars, trucks, or whatever stop on the bridge up here and shine spotlights down through there. Probably looking for deer, but who knows at this point. But it's about time to do another thermal scan, and I'll get on that here in just a few minutes, and then we'll see where we go from there. I haven't heard anything yet, so other than a couple of frogs and the crickets. I haven't even heard a dog bark, but the night's still young. All right, everybody, it's 8 o'clock. This is our second scan. Nothing out through there right now. This might be a long night. But let's check the other side. All right, there's our 2 hot spots, but those are trees. Not sure what that is. Right there in the center of the screen. Probably just a limb. It ain't moved, so it's probably just a limb. But that's what the thermal's looking like right now. Nothing at all to see yet. We'll get back with you in a little bit. We haven't heard anything out here tonight. I've got a flashlight shining on the top of the bridge right now, and it's giving me a little bit of light to work with. But I cut it out when I'm sitting around here doing nothing. But man, when you turn it on, them bugs get all over that light. So I'm trying to keep it off as much as I can. Haven't heard anything. Haven't seen nothing. I've run the thermal a couple of times that I didn't record just to see what was out there. Nothing. I'm gonna keep doing it for a while, but just letting y'all know the night don't look too good for it, but I'm gonna stay out here, hang with it, and see what I can get going. It's a little early to call it quits now, but I'm in it for the long haul. Let's see what happens. Kick back in a little bit. Alright, y'all, I have moved over to a little bit so that I could get a little bit more of this little area that was blocked just a minute ago. Still seeing nothing. So it is still early. So far we're not seeing nothing, we're not hearing nothing. I'll get back with you in a little bit on this thermal deal. Probably do a thermal every 30 minutes. All right, everybody. I have moved back to the van for this little part of the deal. Bugs were eating me alive, and I just couldn't handle it no more. But I moved back to the van. The parabolic mics are still running, and the way I figure it, if I walk out there to the bridge and look out over the bridge at the water down, the land down there right now, I'll probably get a better view than what I could from being under the bridge. So I decided that might be the best deal. Not trying to make it all that much easier on me, because now I've got to walk to get to the bridge. But them bugs were just eating me alive, and I've come up to the van to get something for it, and I didn't have nothing. Undoubtedly, I moved it all out and put it in the Bronco a couple of weeks ago when we were doing something else. So, oh well. Reckon I need to get it back in the van. But either way, I decided that viewing all that marshland, whatever you want to call that, viewing it from above would probably be a better deal for everybody. So that's why I'm doing setting out here. I got the windows down, still ain't heard nothing, but it is a little more comfortable in here. Just to go make my walk to the bridge and do another thermal for y'all. All right, this is looking a little better. Although we're still not seeing nothing on thermal. From above it looks a little better. Let's go to the other side of the bridge. Look out here at the big spot. Oh yeah, I can see a whole lot more like this. But I'm still not seeing nothing on thermal. Okay, down the road. Now, wow. Back down the other way. Ain't seeing nothing. But I did just hear an owl off in the distance, so we got stuff moving around now, making some noise. All right, let's get off the bridge before another car comes by doing 90 to nothing. All right, everybody, it's a little bit after 9 o'clock. I'm going to go out there and do another one of these thermals, and we'll see if anything gets shown up on this one. So far tonight, it's been really, really quiet, and I just don't think tonight's going to be a good night for all this, but I'm still sticking it out for a little while longer. Let's get that thermal done. All right. I am hearing a barred owl, but I'm not seeing nothing on the thermal. Let's go to the other side of the bridge and look at the big land mass over here. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing happening tonight. Nothing. Look down the road. Down the other way. There's my van. But that's it. All right. Let's head back to the van and wait out another little while and come back and do it again. All right, everybody, it's time to call it a night. I haven't heard anything out here other than a couple of barred owls off in the distance, and that's it. So, whatever it is that stores the loins of a Bigfoot to make him come out and scream and everything like that, I don't think it's happening tonight. It's getting lighter out here. I can actually see down the road now. When I first got in the van, I couldn't see nothing. But it has gotten lighter out here. Stars are out big time, and I just don't think it's going to be a very productive night for Bigfooting. I've got the parabolic mics picked up, so I've got a couple of hours worth of listening on them to see if there's anything caught. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. We ain't faking it till we make it. We're trying to make it without faking it. So, well, we'll catch you on the next video, and bye.